Alright, December the 7th through the 11th, we are looking at lesson 20, solution sets to equations with two variables. Alright, so our goal is to recognize and identify solutions to two variable equations. They represent the solution set graphically. We're going to create two variable equations to represent situations. And we're going to understand that the graph of the line ax plus by is equal to c is a visual representation of the solution set. Alright, so let's go ahead and look. It says circle all the ordered pairs that are the solution to the equation 4x minus y is equal to 10. Alright, so basically what I would do is I would plug in 3 for x and 2 for y and see if it gives me a true statement. So pause the video, take a moment, and go through these and see which one of these are true statements. Alright, so doing that, you should have realized that the ones that I have circled are the ones that are true statements. Alright, let's see why. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 2 equals 10. Alright, 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, minus a negative 14, so negative 4 plus 14 is 10. That's how I would know. How did you decide whether or not an ordered pair was a solution to the equation? You substituted and checked to see if the equation was true. Alright. Now, I want you to let the two variable equation here in exercise 1 and the possible solutions are represented as ordered pairs. Alright, so just understand that we can represent those solutions as ordered pairs. Alright, looking at exercise 2. Discover as many additional solutions to the equation 4x minus y equals 10 as possible. Consider the best way to organize all the solutions you have found. Be prepared to share the strategies you use to find your solutions. So you can go through here and you can, guys, literally plug in any number you want and figure out what y would be equal to. Alright? So I'm just going to give you some sample solutions or some answers here that would work. Maybe you can come up with different ones. So negative 5, negative 30 would work. Alright? Negative 2, negative 18 would work. If I put in 2 for x, that would be 8. So what would I have to have here to give me a positive 10? So I could put 2, negative 2. Alright? Now find 5 more solutions where one or more variables are negative numbers or non-integers. Be prepared to share the strategies you use. Once again, just find some negative numbers. Alright? So negative 4, negative 26 would work. Alright? Negative 3, negative 22 would work. Alright, how many ordered pairs will be in the solution set for the equation 4x minus y is equal to 10? Guys, you can already see we've got 5 here. I gave you 3 more here. There's 2 more here. And there's many, many more. So here, my answer would be infinitely many. Okay? Create a visual representation of the solution set by plotting each solution as an xy point in the coordinate plane. Alright, so if we just look at this, 1, 2, 3, 2, negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, negative 6, 5, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 0, negative 10, and if I just, I can do 2, negative 2, what do you notice? What do you notice? Alright. Why does it make sense to represent the solutions to the equation 4x minus y is equal to 10 as a line in the coordinate plane? Alright. Well, drawing a line is the only way to include all possible solutions. And if you will notice, every solution that we would put on there that would be a true solution gives us a straight line. Alright? Gives us a straight line. Alright, exercise 335. The sum of two numbers is 25. What are the numbers? Alright, so we have to create an equation using two variables to represent the solution. Be sure to explain the meaning of each variable. Alright, so we're just going to stick with the normal x and y variables. You can use any variable you want. It does not matter. So I'm going to let x be one number. I'm going to let y be the other number. And it says the sum. What does sum mean? Sum means to add. So the sum of the two numbers, so the sum of x plus y would be 25. Alright? List at least 6 solutions to the equation you created in part A. Alright? So guys, you can put anything. You can do, if x is 2, then y has to be 23. Alright? If x is 0, y has to be 25. Just as long as you are creating equations here. If x is negative 1, y has to be 26. Alright? If x is negative 4, y would have to be what? Y would have to be 29. As long as I get 25 every time I add these together, then I'm going to have an answer. If x is 10, y would be 15. If x was 11, y would be 14. When I add these two numbers together, I should get 25 every time. Create a graph that represents the solution to the equation. Alright, so I'm going to let every line equal 2 on my y value. My x value, I'm just going to let my lines equal 1. So 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So 23, 0, 25, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, negative 1, 26, negative 4, 29, and 11, 14. So guys, and it's a little hard, but I have a line here. It's a little hard. My dots didn't quite come out because of my thing, but I should get a line when you create your dots. All right. Gia had 25 songs in a playlist composed of songs from her two favorite artists, Beyonce and Jennifer Lopez. How many songs did she have by each one in a playlist? Create an equation using two variables to represent this situation. Be sure to explain the meaning of each variable. All right, so we've got X equaling songs by Beyonce. We'll let Y equal songs by Jennifer Lopez. Okay? So it says she had 25 songs in a playlist composed of songs from her two favorite artists. How many songs did she have by each one on the playlist? All right? So what would my equation look like? Well, it would be the number of songs by Beyonce plus the number of songs by J-Lo would give me a total of 25 songs. List at least 3 solutions to the equation you created in part A. Well, if you look at it, guys, it looks very similar. But we're now looking at it in context to a problem. All right? So that's what's different here. We're no longer just looking at X and Y or numbers. We're looking at songs. All right? So, can I have negative songs? I can't. So, I need to stick with positive numbers. And I also need to make sure my numbers are below 25. So I could say, well, maybe she didn't have any songs by Beyonce, and she had 25 songs by J-Lo. Or I could say, well, she had 10 songs by Beyonce, which means she had to have 15 songs by J-Lo. All right? Or I could say, well, she had 8 songs by Beyonce, which means she had to have 17 songs by J-Lo. I could flip them around and say she had 15 songs by Beyonce and 10 songs by J-Lo. Create a graph to represent the solution set to the equation. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, whoops, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Alright, and look guys, I have that line. Alright, I have a line here. Comparing your solution to exercise 3 and 4. How are they alike? How are they different? Alright, well, the solution set in exercise 3 has an infinite number of ordered pairs. And the graph is a solid line. Alright, notice I very lightly drew a line because I wanted you to see that. So, the solution set in exercise 3 has infinite number of solutions. Alright, I can keep putting number after number after number. And it is a solid line. Okay? Because I can do 2.5. If I go back over here, I can go 2.5 and then figure out what y is. I can do negative 58 and figure out what y is. Alright, but let's think about this here. Are there infinite number of solutions for this equation? No, there is not, because remember we said we cannot have negative number of songs. So we call this the solution set in exercise 4 has a finite number of solutions. In other words, there's only a certain amount of solutions that we can have. Alright? So, because we cannot have negative songs by Beyonce or negative songs by J-Lo, then there's only a certain point that I can be in on my graph. Alright? Now, in this case, the graph, alright, the graph is a discrete set of points. Alright? I want you to understand that word. It is a specific set of points. 0, 25. I cannot say 2.5 because I can't have 2.5 songs by J-Lo. Alright? So it is a discrete set of points. It's only certain points that I can be looking at. Alright? It is not every single point on that line. It is just certain points. That's the difference between these two sets of problems. Alright. So, just a little introduction to what it's going to look like. Some of the things we're going to be looking at here in the next several lessons. Alright, in this case, I have infinite many solutions here. So I could draw a solid line, and it can be any number on that line. Alright, in this problem, once again, it can be any number on that line, which is why I drew a solid line. This one, I didn't make a solid line. I just kind of drew it very lightly. Technically, I would not draw any line at all because it has to be specific points dealing with the problem that we're dealing with. All right, because we're talking about music, we can't have halves. We can't have fourths. We can't have negative numbers. All right, so that's just an introduction to what we're going to be looking at in the next few lessons. All right, a couple of vocabulary words. An ordered pair is a solution to a two-variable equation when each number substituted into its corresponding variable makes the equation a true number statement. All right, all the solutions to a two-variable equation are called a solution set. All right, and then we have, when we take those ordered pairs and we plot them, we have the graph of the equation. All right, guys, if you need anything, reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Hope you have a great week.